Hello and welcome to Ula Tea Leaf Readings. My name is Lenor and today I'm going to be reading your tea leaves. This is a horoscope for Scorpio. I almost said Pisces. I just said Pisces, but no, this is Scorpio. For Scorpio, and if that is your solar, lunar, ascendant / rising sign, then this is a message for you. All right, let's get started. Okay, let's take a look at what these tea leaves have to say. And hopefully the lighting is okay. It's during the day. There are clouds. From 1 minute, it's really bright outside. The next minute, it is really dark. And so the lighting is just kind of changing. All right, so our card today is the Ten of Swords, and this has to do with rune. So, in a strange way, and this maybe is just my personality, I kind of like when I pull cards that have, the Death card, the Hanged Man, the Ten of Swords. Yeah, it means there might be a little bit of hardship. There might be an ending to something, a departure. But to me, I look at these cards and I think it's the end of something that does not serve me. It's not supposed to be in my life, even if I am attached to it. And so this gives me an opportunity to move forward. Better things ahead. Right? All right, let's see. Let's see what's going on. So I do want to look at this bird right here. It looks like a flamingo. It's beautiful. It's in this emotional area on the edge of the bowl. And when I see a flamingo, I think, okay, this is a graceful bird. This is an agile bird. This is a bird that has balance. But something that is really interesting about flamingo, we think of a pink flamingo, right? And now I'm thinking, because I talked about this before and somebody corrected me. I always thought that a flamingo turned pink based on the fish it was eating. And I believe, now that and this is from a few months ago, I believe somebody said it was the algae, or maybe it's the flowers that they eat. I don't know. Something that they consume changes the pigment of their feathers. Okay. So what does this have to do with the attributes of the symbol? This is a magnificent being, a beautiful being that is greatly influenced by its environment. It can't help but show what it consumes. If we hang out with a bunch of people who are always negative, people in your life that you know more about what they don't like than what they do like. What do you even like? I don't know. You're always talking badly about things. When we are surrounded by that energy, our feathers begin to change into those tones, right? So we must be discerning about what we take into ourselves. Media, people, the energy of the people around us. Literally too, maybe foods. Now, I'm not one for diets. I won't push anything like that ever. But you personally know what makes you feel good and what maybe makes you feel kind of icky. I love chocolate. I do. I love chocolate, but you know what? It does not, my intestines do not like it. I'm not going to get graphic, but it does not sit well with me anymore as an adult, as an older lady now. And I know that, so I have to make the decision. Is it worth it? Okay. And so this is true of every aspect of our life. Even down to where we live. And I live anyways, in a country where we're pretty privileged to be able to move around. It's expensive though. I've moved around in my life a little bit. I don't know. It would be expensive now to move. Things are different now. But here's the thing. When we live in an environment or weather conditions that are not suitable to our personality, to us physically, where I live, it gets very cold. I happen to love the cold. When it's hot, I'm miserable. But I do know the people around me who are getting older, who've lived here on the tundra most of their lives, well, now they have arthritis or, whatever other things that are affected by the temperature. And so you can't help but show how you are affected by the environment. You're in pain. Right? It's too cold. A lot of people, they travel down south for part of the year. Some people just go and they never come back. They just they just stay. For better or worse. But the point is, you seem to be a person who cannot hide your feelings, cannot hide, whatever it is that you are around, it comes out in you. That's not a bad thing. You're a being who is sensitive. You're probably an empath, maybe. Maybe a creative, a poet. You're cursed with a poet's heart. So, just be conscious of what you're doing with yourself. Who are you around? What are you doing? Where are you going? What kinds of medias are you taking? I've talked about this one. This is my other big example. I watch too much true crime stuff. And I'll go through periods of time. I don't watch it for a couple of years, right? And then I get into some little mood where I start watching it again. And I become very suspicious of the world. Everybody seems to be doing something, right? Or capable of. I feel a lot more vulnerable when I'm taking in that kind of media. I don't watch the news very often because it's the same kind of feeling. I just get, it just changes how I perceive things. And I know that about myself. I really do. Does it stop me? Not always, no. But that's how it be. All right, let's see. So we're working with the Ten of Swords. And I know there's been some situations with family stuff in these last readings. I know that there's been, just some struggle with internal kinds of, you know, feeling like belonging, standing up for yourself, you know, the personal mythology. And I know that you have been working really hard to change some aspects of, you know, just how you've been living. I know that you've been creating. And it feels like there is a lot of movement, okay? Now here, I'm looking at this and I see this kind of beautiful being here and holding a torch. And almost on this side, it looks like maybe there's a bird here. And I feel like, I almost feel like there's this sense of you feel that you have a message for the world. You have something you want to say. Now you're finding your voice. You're finding the medium maybe in which you want to put this out there. You know, maybe you are becoming a content creator. Maybe you already are. Maybe you are some kind of artist. Maybe you're a poet with a poet's heart. You know, activist, musician, I don't know, something. But I feel that you have this instinct to get out there and change some things. You know, I think that, you know, you're a pretty emotional person. And, well, I love emotional people myself. I think that, you know, well, you know, the world seems more chaotic than ever. There are so many people creating different things. You know, if you talk to maybe like somebody who, like an art dealer or a gallery person or whatever, they would say, oh, the market is oversaturated with, you know, too many artists or whatever. Oh, get out of here, right? It is a beautiful renaissance of so many kinds of things being created. So many innovative things. Are they all good? Are they all tasteful? You know, well rendered? Do they all have some kind of deep message? No, of course not. That doesn't matter. The point is that there are platforms for more and more people to be dreaming, right? Making things. And that's very interesting. I think that is wonderful. And if you have ever heard me say this, I'm sorry, I'm going to repeat it again, but I think that we all should do ourselves a favor. This is homework too. We should be looking at artwork of some kind, real life, online, you know, TV, whatever it is. Some kind of artwork, or listening to it, experiencing it for at least 30 minutes every day, every single day of your life. Yes, you should be, because it opens up your psyche. New ideas, different kinds of shapes, colors, motifs. We need to be exposed to, you know, the allegories, the scenarios, the different stories. You know, people often say, oh, the Greek tragedies, or, you know, the comedies and stuff. Well, listen, there's so many cultures with so many things, so many beautiful kinds of art. What a special time to have the access to it. So you should be out there doing it, and then creating as well. And I think that this is where we're going. This is, you know, this is where we put that energy that we don't know what to do with, those emotions. We don't know what to do with them. Make something. Don't lash out. Don't get angry. Don't burn down your life. Make something with it. It's called sublimation. We use these feelings for something useful. And if it's not useful, it doesn't matter. Something. Just make something with it. I don't care if you're stacking rocks, weaving pine needles together, gluing macaroni to a piece of paper, sculpting with your kids' Play-Doh, whatever it is. It doesn't matter. Use what is around. Make something. And if you don't feel like you're an artist, think of it as like art therapy. Something. It is good for you. It will help you get some of that stuff out. And there's no wrong way to do art. That's the other thing. You can't fail at it as long as you are trying to do something. Okay, so we have a little gnome here. And the gnome is, in my mind, one of the protectors of the household, the exterior of the household, but also the property around the house. This is a true backyard spirit. One of my neighbors has a big gnome across the way, and sometimes they have kids over there. It gets knocked around and it's facing a different direction, and I know that something is about to shift if that thing is facing a different way. I'm like, okay, there's something going on. The weather's going to change. There's going to be an onslaught of, leaves or debris or something, whatever it is. I just know something is changing in the physical landscape, or I have to watch out for something because that gnome knows. And so we all have our kinds of gnomes. My house is protected by toads or frogs. We have both, but those are our totems for the outside. And so I think it's important for you to find your totem. Maybe you can create a little effigy of it to put outside. It doesn't have to look like it. It could be a symbol for it. Or you could go to like the garden store and get a little statue of it. Whatever it is, figure out what is the energy, what is the animal or being or symbol or whatever that protects your house. And you can have a bunch of them. I have a bunch of them. But I have shown you the frogs and the toads on the community post. So those are the ones I'll share with you. And identify it and go ahead and make it part of your home. If you live in an apartment, same thing. Set it out by the door. Hang it on the door. Put it in your window. You don't have to believe, but it is a fun exercise. Okay, let's see. We also just I feel like we just have a lot of water going on. I think the dreams are big dreams. You're having really detailed dreams. They almost feel like they're overwhelming at times. And so I think if you have a sleep routine, adhere to that. Okay, pay attention to it, adhere to it. Screens off at least an hour before bed. Cool your room down. Keep get it nice and dark in there. Do your whatever breathing exercises, meditation, get into bed, and, get a good amount of sleep if you can. I know there are other circumstances. I'm just getting out of the time that my daughter's now a preschooler, so sleeping better. But I know there's all kinds of circumstances to why we don't sleep well. But if you have a routine, work on that. The dreams are coming. They're important, and write them down. Okay, we have a piece of corn. We have a butterfly, and we have a person who is walking. Okay, I think important to be out in the out of doors. The butterfly, always a sign of metamorphosis. This one is beautiful. It has the long tail. And the corn, the harvest. Okay, you're either sowing your seeds. They're starting to probably come up by now, down in the southern hemisphere, or we're in that reaping, right? We've already had the corn for a while, but you know, symbolic, as far as symbolism goes. Oh my gosh, I need some coffee. Symbolically, we have the corn, the harvest, the abundance. Okay, ready for that long winter. But yeah, get out there, get some fresh air, do whatever kind of intentional movement that you can. Okay, I think a lot of times, Scorpio, it's about trying to manage the moods, finding the good balance in life, expressing yourself. That's a big thing, right? Looking to gain some clarity beyond just how we're feeling in the moment, letting go of those transient emotions. Okay, so we have the Earthbound Oracle cards here. I'm just going to go ahead and pick one, see how it punctuates our reading. Okay, let's see. Perseverance. I love it. The big old fish. Yeah, I think this is the big thing. Getting past yourself, how you're feeling. Okay, not getting too weighed down, bogged down by that kind of, as we say in recovery, stinking thinking. Okay, if we feel like things are going to be bad, they're going to be bad, right? If that's how we decide that it's going to go that way. So, not only that, just deciding who we're going to be around, because it really does. We are affected by that so much. So, all right, Scorpio, I want to say thank you for spending this time with me. It is always such a pleasure to be able to bring these messages to you. If you would be so kind as to like the video, it helps us get into the algorithm. The algorithm decides everything about everything in the entire universe. And so we like to make it happy by giving it the engagement that it wants and needs. These are things like liking the video, watching the readings from the beginning to the end, sharing the readings on other social media platforms. If you have not subscribed yet, please think about doing that. You can hit the little bell. It'll let you know when the next videos are coming out. And if you want to leave a comment, please do. I read all of them. They all mean so much to me. And if you are interested in, okay, I added a perk to the membership tier. There's only one, and the perk is access to a Discord server, which is a chat room. So you can come over and chat with myself and the other members that are in there. If you're interested in doing that, you are most welcome to come over, and there are details how to do that. Well, no, I don't know. Maybe there aren't details in the description, but there's a button. There's a join button on the main page for the channel, and that's how you become a member. Okay, so I want to thank you again, and I love you, and we will talk in just a few days.